Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I make art videos, and for today's video I'm working on this portrait here, which is actually based off the same image that I painted on my denim vest last week. And I've decided to make this into like a finished piece just because I really liked the image, and that's pretty much it. So I think I drew her better in this one just because it was really difficult to actually draw onto my denim vest, and even painting was a bit difficult. But I mean, I'm still happy with how that turned out. If you haven't seen that video, it's only a couple of videos behind this one. I uploaded it last week, but I am glad that I actually made this into like a finished piece just because I'm really happy with how this one turns out. The supplies that I'm using for this piece are just the usual. So I've got my Canson illustration paper. I used an HB pencil and kneadable eraser for the sketch. And then here I'm inking with my Pentel brush pen. And I also use a Copic multi-liner for the finer lines. I also use some watercolor, and I use my peerless watercolors because they're pretty much the only ones that I own. And then I use a white paint pen for the last minute details. And yeah, so I'm really happy with how this image turns out. I think it's a bit darker compared to the last few works that I've done, especially because she has no eyes and it's a bit creepy, but it's still beautiful. And I really like that, what's it called? Balance, I guess. And it's also really satisfying to watch this part where the black ink is being filled in. At this point I actually run out of ink, and that's kind of the only downside to the Pentel brush pen, although I do have a lot of refills. So yeah, like the Pentel brush pen is good for like a lot of line work and that kind of thing, but if you need to fill in like big areas of black, or even if you're working on like a really large piece, it's probably not the best thing to go for. But I mean, it kind of works for what I want to use, and the amount of black used on this piece it's not like heaps, but obviously filling in that black area is more than just the lines. I really should get just like a little jar of ink. I did have one when I was at uni, and I think that's either finished or it's dried up maybe. I don't know. It definitely would be better to use that to fill in black areas rather than using my Pentel brush pen ink, but it's kind of all I've got at the moment. And yeah, so I do like how the watercolor turned out as well. I wanted to keep this piece quite monochrome, and I was just using kind of like the black watercolors in my watercolor set, and then I was thinking of maybe adding some kind of like flesh color to her face, or maybe some like red to her lips, but then I was like, no, I really like how it's like just like slightly shaded, and I just add the same color to her lips and around her eyes, so it's not like it's, you know, gonna draw any more attention there. It's kind of all just the same shade. And then we've got my magical white dots that I like doing. And then it's pretty much done. So you can now buy prints of this piece over in my online store, which is at mxmaree.com/shop. And that is all from me today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. I feel like I couldn't really do as good a job on them simply because of the lag, and I was trying to be quick anyway. I wasn't trying to do something super detailed. And then for this one I decided to go back